Hey guys, Jen Banks with Banks Canine Solutions. I'm a dog trainer in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. I offer in-home dog training. You can visit my website to find out more. It is Banks, the letter K, the number 9, solutions.com. This is my weekly dog training Q&A. I don't usually do it live, but I didn't realize what time it was, and I usually like to post it at noon, so I am going to answer this question live. I got a question from Jill. She says, I have a foster with absolutely zero confidence, and he acts out in aggression when he's unsure and nervous. Do you have any tips on things I can do to work on building his confidence when he's in uncertain situations? I'm going to start nose work with him to work on his overall confidence, but any other advice would be greatly appreciated. He was returned to the shelter because of the aggression with a weak, anxious handler. So first thing, you're gonna need to hire a professional dog trainer. Like whether it's you or the home that he goes to, they're gonna need to work with someone, because it's if he's truly aggressive, and I don't actually know that means to you, so that's what I'd want to know. But if he's truly aggressive, fearful or whatever, that it's a touchy thing to navigate, and it's something that I can't really explain to you without being there to help you. So that would actually be my first question: is what does aggression mean to you? What does that look like? Has he bitten people? Has he not bitten people? Is he anytime he sees someone, he's reacting? Does he have what's his personal bubble? Like, can he be within 10 feet of people and he's fine? There's like 100 questions I'd need to ask you. That being said, I'm reading your question as I'm doing this. I think the nose work would be wonderful for him, and it'll transfer really well to whoever ends up adopting him. So I definitely think nose work is a good idea. I do wonder, like, is he acting out at you or just at strangers? I've got like so many questions for you. The other thing I would do for him is I would be very predictable. So this is where like a lot of structure in the house would be really helpful. And I think people misinterpret structure for, they think dogs need structure because we need to be like dominant over them and we need to be the boss. For fear, we want structure because if it's predictable, it'll ease him a little bit. So the more he understands, okay, this is what's happening now, the less nervous and anxious he'll feel. A lot of people with dogs like this, they think they should get him out and like go to the pet store and go to Lowe's and like socialize them. That is the last thing I would do with this dog until you have a better working relationship with him in your house. So I would do just a lot of food lure games in the house. Definitely be crate training him if you're not already. This is not a dog that should be sleeping in bed with you or on the couch with you or anything like that. I would very much people see fearful dogs and they want to feel bad for them, which I get, but feeling bad for him is going to get him killed, right? So don't feel bad for him. Be strong and confident for him. Use your crate, use your exercise pen. Maybe you're doing these things already. I'd have him working for his meals because it's just it's a good time to start to build up a little bit of food drive. And there's a theory that dogs can't be afraid and searching for food at the same time. So if you follow that, it's basically you've got this fear system where the dog is in fear and maybe in flight or in fight, and like that is the most important thing. But if you can tap into their seeking system where they're searching for something like food, you can switch them out of that fear system and into that seeking system, which is why I like nose work for him so much and why I would do a lot of food lure games. And that is like the start. Don't let anyone touch him, right? So advocate for him. If he doesn't want to be touched, tell people to screw off. Don't touch my dog. He doesn't want to be, don't look at him, like leave him alone. Make him feel safe first. And don't bring him out of the house unless you absolutely have to, because he's not ready for it yet. And it's not that you would never bring him out of the house. It's that you need to have certain systems in place before you start challenging him. So think of it like going through school, right? I'm not going to teach calculus to a kindergartner, right? Because maybe they don't even know what numbers are. So we need to teach him numbers first and then teach him how to add and subtract, and how to multiply and divide, and then eventually we get to calculus. I shouldn't have used math because I don't understand math. That was a bad example. But you need to start simple and small, and you need to have things in place like he understands not to pull on leash. He understands to look at you for comfort. He understands how to take food, how to follow a food lure, stuff like that in the house in a safe environment. And then I'd go do it in the yard. And then eventually I'd progress to new places. And anyone who wants to touch him, I would say, no, leave him alone. And just me standing up for him is going to show him that I can control the environment and he doesn't have to worry about it. And then ultimately, really, that's probably all you'll be able to do with him before he ends up going to a new home, unless you're keeping him. But that's then where you'd need to hire a trainer to help with that. And if management breaks down and something goes wrong and he reacts, you need to correct him. Like, I don't care how scared he is, putting teeth on people is not okay. So, like, worst case scenario, you need to use a squirt bottle or something to tell him, no, that's not okay. Try to prevent that from happening, especially with fear. With a dog who's fearful and aggressive, if you're careful about how you do it, you should never see a reaction from him, depending on how intense the dog is. Again, I don't know this dog at all. This is why I say hiring a trainer would be my first advice. So, and hey, Lisa, how are you? Oh, my dog barks at our neighbor's dog, even though they play together at doggy daycare. What can I do to stop this behavior? Well, you're going to hear my rant about doggy daycare. I'm not a big fan of doggy daycare because it teaches dogs that they only interact with other dogs in a really high intensity situation. So honestly, reevaluate if he needs to go to daycare, because he's what, 2 or 3 now. He should be slowing down a little bit. I might look at getting a dog walker instead of a daycare, because even if I'll tell you how to correct it in a minute, but understand that potentially the source of the problem is that he's spending a lot of time in a super intense state of mind when he's with other dogs, and he's learning that, yeah, he's 3. Oh, that's crazy that he's 3. So because he's at daycare learning to just be intense with dogs all the time, that's how he thinks he needs to be with dogs all the time. So when he's seeing them from behind a barrier, that's where his brain is going. And the only way to really stop that is to stop letting him be intense with dogs all the time, and to stop the daycare, which is why I much prefer dog walking to daycare. If you're in Fitchburg, I can't remember if you're in Fitchburg or not. Gina's family pet sitting is in Fitchburg. She does dog walking, and it's way better than any daycare. There's only one daycare in the area that I recommend. So to stop the barking in the house, because my dog barks at our neighbor's dog, even though they play together at doggy daycare. So I'm actually not sure if he's barking in the house or if he's barking on a walk. But if you've never used a squirt bottle, you can certainly use a squirt bottle to correct him. You just got to be prepared for it. So if your neighbor will help you, she can text you or whatever and say, I'm going to walk by in 5 minutes, and you can be there ready, if the behavior is happening inside, you can be inside, both. Yeah. So I'd probably actually start inside, because it'll be easier. So I'd start inside and then do it outside after. But I'd have him, he's loose in the house. You've got a squirt bottle ready to go. And I set the squirt bottle to stream, not mist. Don't mist him. That's not going to do anything. And I'd wait till he, and I'd go no, and I'd squirt him in the face and the butt. It doesn't matter, but I'd squirt him a few times. And that's going to tell you pretty quickly if that's going to work for him or not. Some dogs, they think the squirt bottle is a big joke. So if that doesn't work, you can try a pet convincer or something like that, which is just compressed air. But I wouldn't attempt to correct it outside until you can do it inside. So do that. And I do this every week. So if you want to come back next week and follow up with me, go ahead and do that. Because I can show you how to, maybe the squirt bottle doesn't work. I can give you another plan, but don't hold back with it. Some people squirt the dog once and the dog keeps barking and they're like, oh, it didn't work. Squirt them like 5 or 10 times and let me know. All right, guys. Bye, Lisa. It was nice chatting with you. I hope you enjoyed this dog training Q&A. I'm going to go eat lunch now. All right. Bye, guys.